Number 7. Thomas Jane as Frank Castle, aka The Punisher in The Punisher, 2004. Although fans have high hopes for Jon Bernthal as The Punisher in Season 2 of Marvel's Daredevil, it's quite obvious he'll have much to top. While the Punisher's first outing may not have been his best, Jane was able to portray a man who was stable yet extremely insane at the same time. He could portray a man who would kill without mercy, a man who didn't care if you suffered as long as you weren't innocent. Jane would reprise his role in a fan film called The Punisher: Dirty Laundry. Number 6. Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn, aka the Green Goblin in The Amazing Spider-Man 2, 2014. It takes a lot to play a character who starts out as your best friend, but slowly becomes your arch enemy. Regardless of what you think of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, DeHaan played a menacing villain who likely made all viewers pee their pants in absolute fear. Number 5. Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy in The Amazing Spider-Man 2012 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2, 2014. What makes many of Peter Parker's girlfriends so popular is how independent they can be. This notion was sadly ruined by Kirsten Dunst with her unattractive, unlikable, damsel-in-distress portrayal of Mary Jane Watson in the Spider-Man trilogy. Q Stone, who brought a level of likableness to the role of Gwen Stacy, feeling more independent and making her portrayal almost 100% identical to the comic strip. Her version of Gwen would save Peter more than Peter saved Gwen. Number 4. Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man in The Amazing Spider-Man 2012 and The Amazing Spider-Man 2, 2014. Coming in as the most controversial choice on this list, Garfield received hatred from many fans who accused him of being too unlikable, too scrawny, too hot, and all in all, just not as good as Tobey Maguire's portrayal of the character. However, Garfield in reality blew Maguire right out of the water. Peter Parker was still portrayed as a nerdy kid during Garfield's run, but he, unlike Maguire, was not a stereotyped nerd. You see, Maguire's Spider-Man signaled that nerds wear funny bow ties, trip over just about everything, and talk like they have puppies in their mouths. Not to mention, Maguire ruined the emotional scenes. Garfield gave us an awkward personality to Peter Parker, while still giving us the humor required for Spider-Man, which was almost completely absent in Maguire's version of the character. In reality, Maguire is considered better because he was the first. If he were second, he'd have a golden raspberry plastered on his forehead right now. Number 3. Wesley Snipes as Eric Brooks, aka Blade in Blade 1998, Blade 2, 2002, and Blade Trinity 2004. Eric Brooks is a hard role to play. You've got to be menacing yet sympathetic in the role. And this is exactly what Snipes did. I mean, Snipes' voice alone sums up everything about why he was perfect for the role of Blade. Number 2. Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, aka Iron Man in Marvel's Iron Man 2008, Marvel's Iron Man 2, 2010, Marvel's The Avengers 2012, Marvel's Iron Man 3, 2013, and Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron, 2015. Tony Stark is an arrogant and self-absorbed brat, but you still love him for that. Well, most of the time, I mean, unless we're counting Iron Man The Crossing or Civil War. But this is a really hard character to play, as you can see, and many thought that Downey Jr. didn't have what it took. Now, those same naysayers refuse to see an Iron Man movie without Downey Jr. in the role. In one way, Downey Jr. helped Iron Man. In another way, Iron Man helped Downey Jr. Downey Jr. was a washed-up actor at the time, but Iron Man would eventually help him and lead him to other great roles, such as Sherlock Holmes. And number 1 is Nicolas Cage as Johnny Blaze, aka Ghost Rider, in Ghost Rider and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Oh my god, man. Nicolas Cage was amazing. Just freaking amazing. I mean, he was so compelling. I mean, he really matched the character well. It just felt like he flew off the comic page. And okay, I'm just kidding. The real number 1 spot goes to J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man 2002, Spider-Man 2 2004, and Spider-Man 3 2007. Simmons was born for the role of Jameson. No one else on the planet could have matched the enthusiasm or audacity to play such a character like Jameson, making him arguably the greatest Marvel casting choice of all time. So, let me know in the comment section below what are your top 7 favorite Marvel casting choices, and I'm out!